Honestly, like, I'm good with. What's up, everybody? It turns out I actually hit the wrong button. I was going to intro Greg gun here, and I had this whole thing prepared where I was gonna say he's a heavy metal guitarist, he's an illustrator extraordinaire, and all this kind of stuff. But then I hit the wrong button, and here he is. So, welcome, Greg.
I like this low-key intro a lot better.
Yeah.
It sets the bar where it should be.
Oh yeah, well I'm stoked to have you on stream, and guys, today what we're going to be doing is some After Effects work. So I have literally never opened After Effects until this morning. Greg told me to open it yesterday, and I was like, no, I'm going to do it this morning so I can say this is the first time that I've ever opened it. All right, Greg, you're quiet, so let me turn you up here real quick. Say something to the people.
Something for the people.
Nice. Is that better, guys? Let me know. Sam, always first. Good to see you over there. John Beatty in the chat. Hello.
Hey, John.
Sonal Design, Aggressive Bubbles. Good to see you again. And then, of course, Delicious Goat Meal.
Oh my! These names are the best.
A staple on the channel. Moonraid, hello. Moonraid, I missed your presence last stream. Yeah, so we're going to be doing some animating in After Effects, and then hopefully exporting a Lottie and then importing it into the website. Did you guys see the trailer on YouTube? It went live yesterday.
Oh my god, I haven't even watched that. I should watch that.
You gotta watch it. We pulled a template off of Creative Market for the closing the closing screen with the logo. So I'm going to need your full animation critique on that, Greg.
Well, you'll get it. I'm more concerned about you having never opened After Effects until right now. You guys, I was duped.
Yeah, I was like, hey, can you help me out with this? I'm a little confused. Confused because I have no idea what I'm doing in here.
No, this will be super fun. It's gonna be totally bumpy and really entertaining. So hopefully we'll get an animation out of it too. That'd be a nice bonus.
Absolutely. So John asked, how are we getting Greg on visually with Streamlabs? Okay, so this is fairly complex, and it's for the streamers in the crowd. But he's on a Zoom call, and I have the Zoom window positioned up here in the corner of my desktop. And then from there, I'm sharing that as a desktop source, and then I'm sharing my After Effects screen with him on Zoom, and then also projecting my camera from it's weird, dude. It's so much like intertwining pieces, but it works. So yeah. Trailer was
remember
epic.
That movie,
nice.
Remember the hacking movie Swordfish with Hugh Jackman?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, there's a scene. Hugh Jackman is like a crazy like hacker in it, and there's a scene where he has like an array of like 16 monitors that are all kind of wired crazy. It's like the best 90s version of like what hacking looked like. That's just kind of what I imagine is on the other side of you, Ben. For anyone that gets that
pretty
reference.
much. Yeah, the cable management right now is choice, I gotta say, because there's about 50,000 cables that are running around here. We got the overhead rig, we got the lights, we got 2 cameras, like it's just incredible. Hopefully the stream won't drop out when AE renders. That's a distinct possibility.
I think we'll be okay. This is pretty lightweight stuff.
All right, good. Yeah. Hopefully the 3700X will be able to support it.
It should. Damn.
Skeedwalker says your new hairstyle surprised him.
Are you talking about me or Ben?
It's definitely not me. Mine hasn't changed. It's just like decreased.
Surprise good. Surprise I hate it. Like the rest of my family. I like it for.
I like it too.
Thanks, man.
Is it going to turn into a man bun? You got to do the man bun and a beard.
No.
You got to do it, dude.
No, cardinal sin. Like my wife will divorce me if I put this in a man bun. I think ponytail would happen before a man bun ever does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moonraid says peer pressure.
No way.
Yeah. John, my coffee place, my favorite is Boy and the Bear. But that actually brings up a good point. Greg, are you drinking coffee today?
I am, out of this Yeti mug.
Is it special
this
coffee?
This was like the best $20 I've ever spent. It is. This coffee is from Costa Rica. My friend went to Costa Rica and brought me back some wonderful and delicious coffee. So I'm drinking that. No idea what it is or what it's called or how to get it.
Nice.
It's coffee. It's good.
We are fans of coffee here on this stream, and I am drinking the Colombia Aponte Village by Onyx today. And I showed you guys the Onyx Labs packaging last time, but like, let's take a look at this. This one is the blue box. It's got fingerprints all over it because I have children. Sorry, but like, look at that. Look at that. What is that? Lined emboss on there.
Wow.
The label wraps really nicely. It's a really smart packaging system where they've got these boxes that are made in mass, and they're just different color papers. Soft touch, which is great. You got the Onyx skull on it. Not sponsored, by the way. I'm just a huge fanboy. You can barely see that.
They're like Johnny Walker. It's like a blue box, a black box, a red box.
And then you open it, and then the coffee would be in there in the bag. Really, really smart packaging.
That's cool.
I'm a sucker for that. This, like coffee and wine, if it has good packaging, 10 out of 10, I'll buy it just to see. Chalor says, Little Bird told me we are doing a Lottie today. We are. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Onyx coffee. It's still holding out for Boy and the Bear, but this is definitely probably a number 2. Definitely, probably. Anyway. All right. So should we get started? Should we roll this thing? Should we do this?
Let's.
Okay. Let me explain what we're doing to the people, and then we will start. Okay. So I am going to share my screen here as soon as I can find it. There we go. All right. You guys should be able to see the website. So we are making good progress on this, but something that still needs to be done, still needs to be created, is this light mode and dark mode switch here. And this just does not work. The functionality works, but it doesn't do anything. So we need to be able to animate this so it actually makes sense when this thing is on and when the lights are off. So yeah. That's what we're going to be focusing on today, and it is my first ever excursion into After Effects, and I'm terrified. Thankfully, I have a guide. All right, so we're in After Effects. What do we do? Give me a tour of this first before we really get started. Give me a tour of the After Effects.
Okay. Well, my sort of pitch explanation for After Effects is that it's a lot like Photoshop, but on a timeline. I guess that's one way to look at it. So you have a file, and you have all the same effects you do in Photoshop and more, obviously, except things can change over time. So if you have a circle and you blur it, it doesn't have to stay that same blur. You can like change that over time. That's a really reductive way of looking at After Effects, but that's it.
Oh, I see.
And most of the time you bring media into it and then you manipulate it. But After Effects also has its own sort of built-in like vector tools, which is what we're going to be working with today. They're called shape layers.
Okay. Very cool. So if I'm looking at this pane, this composition pane, would it make more sense to bring in the project and
I think so.
Analyze the panes?
That'll give us some sort of context for what we're looking at.
All right, let's go to the desktop and open this toggle. So what we did was I had the illustration for the toggle already set up in Illustrator, and I emailed that to Greg, and Greg kind of prepped this file for the stream. I hope it'll work. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. So quick visual tour. So where you are right now, where you're hovering over, that's the composition, which is basically like your file, right? It's your canvas, so to speak. And it has all the same properties as any file. Like you can change the, the size and whatever. You can also change like the frame rate and the length of time, right? So I think I set this to 2 seconds. I can't imagine it would take any longer than that. Okay. But Ben, if you hit Control K, I think that's what it is.
Or Command K, maybe?
Or Command K. I was like, there you go. So this is sort of like your file settings, right? So you have like the size, the resolution, length of time, background color, all that kind of stuff. So that's sort of like the fundamentals of like, you have a file, this is how you set it up kind of thing. Okay, get out of there. Cancel that, yeah. Over on the left-hand side, this is your, I guess like directory. So this is like all the stuff that's in your project and you can organize it however you want. So if you're familiar with Premiere, like if you know how to like edit and use that, it's similar. This is kind of like your media bin, right?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And so this is my default like folder structure for, I just have like an auto template that opens anytime I make a new file. So normally that's completely empty and it's just a wild mess in there until you start organizing it. But I like to be neat. So that's my sort of structure. And right now we don't have anything in there because we're only using shape layers. So we haven't brought any outside media in.
Okay, gotcha.
We don't need it.
So this is kind of like a file system. What does Premiere call it?
I think Premiere calls it media bin. I want to say
bins. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you just call this like the project directory, I think is what it's called or something. And it's self-contained. This is all in After Effects. So like it doesn't mirror anything on a real drive anywhere. You can change this to do whatever you want.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then down below, this sort of like horizontal part along the bottom, these are your layers and your timeline. So over on the left, you have like layer names. So that's each thing in there, right? And if you like highlight one, like click on one, you can see that it sort of like selects that layer and then you can look at it left to right. And that's sort of like, this is what happens to this layer over time. So the left-hand side is like 0, right-hand side is 2 seconds, I think. Yeah, and if we were to change stuff and animate, then you would be able to scrub and sort of like watch it react.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay, so and then these are frames here? Because I see 18F.
18F is 18 frames. Yep.
Okay.
So as you can kind of zoom in and out on the timeline and the frame markers will change too.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Quick tip, if you just use plus and minus on the keyboard, that'll zoom in and out. That's like the quick way to do it.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now there's lots more stuff to get into here, but Ben, what are you thinking so far?
Okay.
How do you feel about this?
This makes sense to me. I'm used to Premiere. I'm by no means an expert, but I can see this. Like this is like the layer panel in Premiere. This is the timeline, and then the bins make sense, and everything makes sense. Like the organization of this is pretty clear.
Okay, cool. So I guess it would probably be easiest to just try to do something to like get into the next part of this.
Okay.
So, Ben, can you like zoom in one click? It's just, yeah, there you go. Plus minus there. So I think before any animation happens, you need a plan, right? So Ben, do you want to walk me through what you want to have happen here?
Yeah.
Like what's the end goal with this animation? What are we after?
So I think let's put hover effects aside. If we click the toggle, the dot here that is the sun, like let's say the light mode is on, the dot would move down and become the moon, and then the stars would appear. So it'd be like the dot is the thing that's moving up and down because it's a toggle, and then the accessories to the dot happen after it settles into place or as it's settling into place.
Gotcha. Okay, so fundamentally it's the toggle that goes like up and down, on or off, and then it has these little like secondary animations that happens with it.
Yeah.
Okay. What might be a better way to look at this is, and there's a good teaching moment. So Ben, down in the layers, see if you can figure out how to turn off the off moon white part. Like just turn all those layers off.
Like hide them? The visibility?
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's basic visibility. Any of those things you can't animate. Those are like sort of like permanent states, I guess you could call them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but it's good for when you just need to like, I just want to look at this.
Okay.
Another way to do that is they have a solo button, which is like, I only want to look at this layer, or 3, hide everything else. So you can kind of do it either way.
Is that the dot here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you click the ones you want to
okay.
see, and you can have more than one on at a time too. You can do like a bunch. You can actually drag and like just have a few.
Interesting. Huh.
Sometimes you get like 100 layers and it's easier to just like have things set up that way. Okay, so this is sort of like, do we want to start with this?
Okay. Say that one more time. Sorry.
Okay. What does the animation look like at the very beginning when it starts? Do we want it to look like this, like on state or off state?
On state. Because it'll load in light mode.
Got it. Okay. So this is sort of step 1. And then ultimately where it ends up, we want the inverse, right?
Right.
Okay. So yeah, you want to just so we get a sense of like what we're looking at. So maybe turn that off. Okay. So it'd be that, but then the outline would be the same color, right? Okay. All right. So the way I like to start every is what I guess you would call blocking. So, you know, just like drawing or anything else, you want to start big and then work your way into like smaller details, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm looking at this, I think the big thing, the like fundamental driving force of this animation is the with Lottie and the interactivity and Webflow. Can we just play it in reverse?
I think you can play it in reverse.
Okay.
Looks like Twitch is having a bit of a problem here. Hang on one second. Let us know when we're back, guys.
Oh, can they not see stuff?
The Twitch stream dropped, and it looks like we're offline.
That's no good.
It is no good.
Is that just us, or I know like Twitch went down the other day, right? Like a lot of websites did.
Travis says, "Thank you for your patience, everyone. We'll be right back after this sponsored moment of silence." I think we're back. It says we're unstable. Let us know, guys. Taxing resources. It could be. Let's check NZXT real quick.
Calling us unstable, I find that insulting.
Let's see. It doesn't say that we're taxing too much resources here. Yeah, CPU's it's less than 40%, so we should be all right. Temps are all good. I think that the interwebs are having a couple of problems here this week. Did you guys see that Webflow went down the other day? Did you notice, Greg?
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yep. I saw a little dip in sales, and I noticed that the Webflow forums were a Twitter because the entire ecosystem was down. But like a huge chunk of the internet went down. So it wasn't just Webflow. It was like some level of hosting that just blinked out for a couple hours.
I think it was Fastly, if I'm not mistaken.
Fastly?
Some content. don't know if it's a CDN or something, but yeah, like that went down, which took down like 20% of the internet.
It's crazy. Reddit went down, YouTube. Yeah. People are saying hamster fell off the wheel.
Definitely.
John, you want to put that closing bracket on the other side of the B in back. That'll get you a good paragraph tag. Imagine if AWS went down. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. Man. All right. Okay. So what we were doing is we were kind of evaluating our first steps here and kind of analyzing the primary action, which is the dot moving up and down. Right? Okay.
Yeah. So I think we figure that out first. Get the timing of that, and then that will inform everything else.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if we're able to play it in reverse on Webflow, that means we just have to animate it one way, and then we can sort of have it, controlled back and forth.
Gotcha. So I'm noticing I did not know this when I created this whole illustration that the dots are two different sizes.
I know. I saw that too. I was like, damn it, Ben.
If we take a look at the end result, I mean, should we make them the same size? Like, I don't like anything's at play here. So if you think that we can do this, then we're golden. But if we need to change the illustration, we can.
Let's just try to work with what you have, because oftentimes as an animator, you are given a design and you got to make it work. So I think this is a good testament to that, that scenario. So yeah, let's figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, fundamentally, we got to move the dot from point A to point B, and what I'm thinking is we just kind of scale it up to match the size of the moon, and then we'll figure out how to like get the moon shape.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we'll probably just use that moon as a guide for placement, and ultimately not actually use that artwork.
Okay.
So, so two things. One is position, and second is scale. And I know, so the other thing to, I guess, keep in mind so everyone knows is you can do anything in After Effects. It's pretty awesome. But if you're making a Lottie, you are kind of limited to the animation tools that After Effects offers, because it's sort of, happening in real time, so to speak. It's not a rendered movie that you can just do whatever you want with.
Right.
So I just have a reference here. I want to make sure that Lottie supports what we're doing, which scale and position they do. So cool. All right. So what we want to do first is we want to set sort of, I guess for Webflow people, we want to set the initial state, right? So where does this thing start? And to do that, we want to go to the beginning of the timeline. So, okay. So, yep, step one there.
All right.
And we want to set our keyframes for the position and scale here for the circle. So, if you twirl down the arrow on the left-hand side of the layer, you get all these crazy properties down there, which you can see everything, and that's great. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming. So, if you twirl that back up, Ben, yeah, you can
there we go.
Close that.
That looks a lot like the effects panel in Premiere. It's got the same kind of look and feel.
It does, yeah. It sucks.
Yeah,
is what it does.
Once you figure it out, though, it's fine. It's just, yeah.
But once, it can get gnarly. Fortunately, After Effects has a really nice feature that sort of lets you only reveal what you want to see. So we want position. So Ben, if you tap P, it'll show position. Oh. And then if you tap S, it'll show scale, which is cool. But we want to see both at the same time. So Ben, if you hold Shift and you tap P, there we go.
Hey, all right.
Right?
Okay.
I've done this once or twice.
Hang on 1 second. Can we adjust the font size in Premiere, settings?
I don't know.
Projects?
Maybe? Under the UI?
Yeah, where do I find
under preferences? Yeah, I think edit preferences. Either that or it might be under like actual Windows settings.
Yeah, they're saying if I make the window smaller, it might do the trick. But that would ruin everything.
I mean, you could. We're not like... I mean, I don't know what it does on your end, but we don't need that much visual real estate. It might be a Windows thing, dude, to like get all the UI.
Type?
I think that's like actual typography in After Effects.
Okay. Font menu, preview size, I see. Yeah. All right, let's try this. See, that's the that's the thing. I think that like with the way that I have the stream set up, guys, I can't change the browser source in the background live without kind of wrecking. Yeah, it's set to the monitor, and if I do a window, then that would disable Greg's stream. It's a whole thing. I'm sorry, dude. Like I wish I could, I just can't.
I see.
I'm wondering if there's a way. Let's do a quick Google search. How about that?
Yeah, there's got to be a way. I think it's like a Windows.
Software, maybe? There we go. Gotta increase UI font size.
Run this script.
Let's see. You guys in chat, let me know if you have a solution, because I do want to make sure that you guys are following along. Right-clicked it, went to properties. Oh, you recommended to change the screen resolution? Ooh, that's dangerous. All right, I'm gonna try this. It says disable full screen optimizations in the exe. I don't know, guys. This is one of those things that we should probably do off stream, because it could throw some wrenches in here.
Oh, Ben, I'm gonna shoot you a link. I don't know if in Zoom. I don't know if this will do anything.
Okay.
But yeah, I was more looking at like accessibility stuff in Windows, where you can just change the size of all the text.
Let's try it.
Because it should affect After Effects too.
Start settings, ease of access. Ease of access. Display. Make text bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Oh man. It changed like weird. It changed the menu, but the actual Adobe interface itself stayed the same.
Well, I'm glad that you can see it, because I cannot.
Oh wow.
It's a totally gray screen. Yeah, it says please wait. Oh God.
There you go.
Look at that.
That's weird. It doesn't affect the UI.
Let's check it out now. Oh, sorry, guys. I mean, you can read that now, right? Like, all right, I'm going to turn it back down and apply it, and we'll just continue on. We'll truck on through. If you're interested in like seeing the details, check out the VOD on YouTube, because I think that like if you look at it on a desktop, it'll be a little bit better, hopefully. So we need some elevator music while this applies the transformation. It's funny that you guys can see the new font size before I can. Because right now, both of my screens are completely gray and it says, please wait. Weird. Okay. All right, let's keep trucking. So we open position and scale properties for this sun dot.
Yeah, sorry, I'm like still looking at stuff. Okay, yeah, apparently it's a big problem in After Effects. Okay, yes, so scale and position, that's sort of like step one. So we need to set our initial state. So Ben, before I like just tell you what to do, see if you can figure out how to set a key for position and scale right there. This is fun.
What on earth? You know what? I'm gonna try it. Oh no, that didn't work. I tried K.
No.
Select keyframe assistant? No.
Oh, okay. Warmer.
Here we go.
Hot.
Oh,
there you go. Okay, so yeah, those little stopwatches, that basically what that does is it enables keyframe setting. And the cool thing about After Effects is you just have to turn that on once, and then it sets a keyframe wherever your slider is.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever you change over time, it automatically creates a keyframe for.
Oh.
So you don't have to like manually do it. It's just like you change something, you get a keyframe. So we have our initial state set here. Now, like I saw you go back and like tap that stopwatch. And so if you do that, that disables
it
keyframe.
Removes it, yeah.
So it'll kill all keyframes on there. So that'll undo a lot of your work. Okay, so that's step one. Now, step two is we want to find where it's going to end and then change those properties there. So yeah, so this is where it's like, okay, how long do we want this animation to take? And granted, we can change this all that we want.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say maybe we just go to like 1 second, which is going to be way too long, but let's do it anyways.
Okay.
And then we change our keyframes there.
Is it 1 second here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now what we want to do is change this position and scale. So see if you can figure out how to do that.
Okay. So position, I'm assuming this is X and this is Y. So maybe we just move it. Oh yeah, there we go. It works exactly like Premiere, where you just click and drag these things. So I'm just clicking and dragging on the actual number here.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Okay. All right.
Now let's turn off the moon layer, and let's just see. Now we can actually watch our animation. So if you scrub back and forth, you can sort of see that it moves and scales, right?
Oh.
And it just automatically creates those keys for you, which is really kind of nice.
Oh, you are awesome. Thank you. More coffee.
There you go.
I love you. What service? My goodness. Anyway, okay, so we're scrubbing back and forth. Hey, 3 ages. Thank you for the follow.
Nice.
Okay.
But we want to look at this in real time, right?
Uh-huh.
And to do that, we have to do what, like, you could either render a movie, which is stupid, or we could just sort of have real-time playback on the timeline. And to do that, I don't know what kind of keyboard you have, but usually I tap 0 on the keypad. I don't know if you have that. Do you have a keypad on your keyboard?
No. This is my keyboard. It has arrows, though.
Look at that. Okay, well then, oh, you know what? Maybe it's, I think spacebar also works. So you just tap spacebar.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. And so then it'll sort of just like loop, right?
Okay, so it's
Okay.
definitely too slow, but we're gonna edit that later.
Yeah. Well, I think now is a good time to like, we want to get our like fundamental timing down,
Yeah.
and then we can add all the fun stuff, right?
Okay.
So we're looking at this animation, and yeah, I think it's too slow, and also it's super linear. Like there's no zip to it, right? And I don't know, maybe you want super linear. I could be wrong.
No.
But to me, it's kind of boring. It's slow and boring. So I think let's change that. So right now it's at 1 second. So what we can do is just, if we can select the keys where it ends up, like you can just drag and select around them. Yeah, and then just start moving them around.
Oh, okay.
So, oh, you know what? Now is a good time to like also ask ourselves what frame rate this is at, and like what frame rate do we want? So usually for most animation that's going to end up on TV or, you know, on your screen or whatever, you want 24 frames per second. Sometimes you do 30 frames if you want that, if you want it to look more like fluid. Ben, I have no idea how like.
Well, let's ask the web guys. Like you guys that are used to, you know, creating lotties. What frame rate do you go with? Is it 24? Is it 30? I mean, I can see 120 frames per second on this majestic monitor here. So if we want to go 120, hey.
Oh my God. So many frames.
What are lotties? This is a good question. What are lotties, Greg?
Oh my God. Yeah, great question. Wow. So lotties are they're basically animated SVGs, right? So if you think about what an animated GIF is, it's sort of like a raster image that's like self-contained and like, you know, looping. A lottie is an SVG, which is like a little vector image that reads code basically, and is like the code animates it in real time. So it's not like a little like movie that you can just open and play. It's designed specifically for a browser to interpret and play back in real time. Benefit there is extremely small file size, and also sort of like variable performance. I guess that could be good or bad. So on a really high-end contemporary machine, it's gonna like fly, and on something that's not as high-end or not as fast, it'll still work really well because the code will sort of read it in real time and adjust accordingly, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does. The one advantage, I this is new to me too, guys. Like Lottie kind of came about as the education side of the business was taking off and the web design for client side was kind of decreasing. So I don't have direct professional experience with this, so this is all new. But from what I hear, what's cool about Lotties is that you can like play them forward and backward, and have a start point and a stop point, and it's very lightweight on your browser. So
yeah, I think they're also used for like apps and stuff too. So like a lot of the, like I know Uber Eats, like if you look at the little animations they have, a lot of those are Lotties.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we just we animated this to kind of move up and down, and I'm playing with the time here. I had an idea, but before we get there, we need to pick a frame rate. And Manny says you probably won't get much out of going above 30 frames per second, but 120 is not what we want to do, right?
No, I think that'll like just I think there's also some like limited support for that too.
Well, why don't we go 30 then?
Yeah, I think that's how I set it up. But if you hit Command K again, you can look at the composition properties, and we'll be able to tell.
30. Yep.
30. All right, I'm a genius. Okay, so cool. We're good. All right. So we need to nail down our timing. And a lot of times with animation to do that, you just have to like watch it a zillion times and like adjust and be fine with it. So right now, one of the most annoying things is if we preview it, Ben, it animates, then we have to wait this whole time. So what we can do is sort of just set in and out points, so it's a lot easier to work with. That like top gray bar with a little blue thingy on the edge, not that one, the thicker one below it. That's the way you do that. So what I would do is, you can either drag the right side over, or if you just, or if you just move your time marker somewhere, and press N, that will set it there. So now when you preview, it'll loop a lot quicker.
So this, for you guys that may not be able to see if you're on your phones or something, there's a blue line here, and that's where we are on the timeline, right? That's the start of the frame. And then is this gray area the frame?
Yeah, that's sort of the frame.
Because I noticed that when we set the out marker, it goes like it almost looks like a frame after where the marker is here. But I guess that it makes sense that this is the frame time here.
Yeah. Okay. The current frame. Okay, so let's watch this a few times and sort of figure out like, okay, you want to maybe give it just a little more like breathing room, or not there, but I just like loop time. There you go. That way we have a little, okay. That still feels a little slow to me. Okay. And so right now that's at 12 frames, right? So that's like less than half a second. I'm also watching this over Zoom, so it's not going to be real time. Yeah,
so that feels, this is 9 frames, so
9 frames. That feels better to me. Let's roll with that for now. Again, we can always change all this stuff. It's fine.
Okay.
So the next thing I would do is, right now the animation is super linear, meaning it's a constant speed the entire time, which usually is really boring. You want things to sort of like start slow and ease in or out and like kind of like swing when they move around, versus like Pong, where it's just like dun 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 dun. So we want to adjust easing. You can really get into the that's like where After Effects shines, is like when you get into all the curves and easing controls and stuff. But I also don't know what Lottie supports. So I think we can keep this really, really simple. So when in doubt in After Effects, there is one feature that everyone uses. It's kind of like the easy button for animation. And if you talk to an animator, they might like grab their belly point and laugh at you. But I think it might work for this.
Okay.
And it's called Easy Ease.
All right.
So, and it basically just sort of like gives your boring keyframes a little bit of easing on both sides. Now, to do that, Ben, you're going to want to select all the keyframes. So you can just drag and select all 4. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I believe you go up to, you know what? I think you can just right click. I think on it anywhere there. And then keyframe assistant. And there should be something called Easy Ease.
Easy Ease.
There you go. F9.
F9.
That's it. Okay. And so this just adds a little kind of like curve to the animation. So it's like makes it less linear and boring. So if we watch it now.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
It's just got a little bit of like, it's really soft easing, which I think is fine. Okay, so this looks a lot better. I guess I would, what I'm thinking now, Ben, is like speed-wise, is this still too slow?
Yeah, because if I'm waiting for this to change, like if we go back over to the desktop, check out the site, and Greg, I know you can't see that on your on Zoom, but if you take a look at my camera, like I'll click the button, and it happens pretty quick.
Do you actually have the time for when that happens, like in Webflow?
No, I don't, because it's not a Webflow interaction. It's actually maybe I could find it, but I can guarantee you it's like 0.3 seconds.
0.3 seconds.
0.4 seconds, maybe max.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would, so that's about like 10 frames, I guess. 0.3. Is that right? 30 divided by 3. Okay, so we're close. So, but we have to factor in there's like other things that are going to happen too. You know, we want it to sort of be done. So I think 8 and 9 frames is probably safe.
Okay.
Probably around there. Maybe even drag it to 8, just so it's like we get there really, really quick.
Gotcha. You know what I was thinking? The idea that I had before we get too deep. What if, and you know, feel free to tell me to sit down. You know, sit down, be quiet, Mr. Burns. But like, what if it's scaled up, and then the rays kind of like got drawn into the sun first, and then it moved down? Because right now it's scaling as it moves. But what if it was like, boom? You know, like the rays. This is technical, guys. This is the way we creative direct. Okay, take notes because this is how you do it. What if they just went? Now do it.
Wait, I don't. Can you say that again?
Okay, so what if we had the rays on? Okay, and then the first part of the animation was the rays kind of moving in towards the circle, and then as they moved in towards the circle was growing, and then it moved down after it was the size. Yeah,
totally. We can do that too. I think that's all. Like the cool thing about all this is like everything we're doing is non-committal, so we can change it anytime we want.
Okay.
But yeah, that may be a better idea. So it's like really smooth. I think this is going to be super fast, so we probably won't have time to do much. But yeah, that's something to be thinking of when like once we get into the secondary animation, which is like the sort of sun rays and the stars and stuff. We'll want to figure out what is the best way to show and hide those in a way that's like not distracting either.
Gotcha.
But I think everything should sync or, you know, sort of be driven by this initial movement of the toggle.
Okay.
Just for animation reasons, and also, you know, for like heuristics, like people want to understand this is a toggle. That's like what they're doing, right? Okay. So we have sort of like step 1 here figured out. Now the other part to think about is like this is also going to change color. So we have to figure out like, okay, how do we want to do? Oh yeah, that needs to become a moon also, right?
Yeah, that too.
That too. Okay. I have an idea for the moon thing. So maybe we do that first.
Okay.
Let me see if this might be tricky. Okay. Yeah, this moon thing's tricky. All right. So the way I thought I was gonna do it isn't supported.
So you just checked on Lottie and to see if something was supported? What were you gonna use?
Yeah. Well, what you can do is so we're like, this is a shape layer, right? This like the sun layer, and what you can do is you can add multiple shapes to this same layer. So you can have a circle, a square, or whatever, and they can all just sort of be part of one layer. And it gets really weird. You can like animate them independently and as a unit. But After Effects shape layers have this feature where you can make another shape in there, and you can have it like merge or like cut out or carve out another shape on the same layer. So I was gonna like say, hey, what if we duplicate the circle and we have it just sort of like slide in and like cut out the crescent shape of the moon?
Yeah.
But it doesn't support that. What it does support though is like just sort of After Effects generic masks, which might be better, might be easier. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's stay on this frame, and then we're gonna make a mask on this layer. And a mask it's just another shape that sort of shows or hides or changes something on your current layer. So to do that, we're going to go up to the top, the little toolbar there, and look for the square shape.
Okay.
There you go. And then let's make an ellipse tool.
Okay.
Yeah. So as long as we're on this layer and we have it selected, if we drag on it, it'll create a mask. Oh yeah, you don't. Okay. So right now it's creating another, this is going to be weird, but it's creating another shape on that actual layer.
Oh.
So
okay.
well, let's undo that. So let's see. Yeah. I want the layer selected. Now, if we click and like drag, like, but don't touch the shape, sort of just drag anywhere else on the canvas. It's just making a shape. How do we do that?
Do I need to click the keyframe?
No, you want to, okay. What if we do this? Try just double clicking that ellipse shape up in the toolbar. Nope, still making a freaking shape. I'm going to open it on my end and just figure this out. This is like a weird finicky thing with After Effects.
Sure.
Because like on any other layer that's not a shape layer, you would just get a mask. And it's sort of just masking that layer.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, while you're doing that, Chalor asked, why not just use a circle with background color? There is one kind of tricky thing because I'm high maintenance. I wanted to have this animated grain in the back of the site. And you can see here that like the dark mode, when we go to dark mode, the background, let's see if I can zoom in on this. Oops. Right there. The background of this, it needs to be transparent so you can see the grain through it. And so using a solid color here, it doesn't give you the full effect. It's almost like the toggle is like sitting on top of the website versus being a part of the website. So we need to make that transparent. Yeah, high maintenance. Sorry.
Okay, Ben, I got it. This is like a really weird roundabout way. But
okay.
This works. All right, so you're going to, click on the sun layer. So don't have anything in the little twirl down selected, just the layer itself.
Okay.
Yeah, so click on the word sun. There we go. And then right click, and at the top where it says mask, go to new mask.
Aha.
Okay. So now you'll see it's not under contents, it's not a shape, it just says mask. All right. But the problem is we have a square mask and we need a circle mask.
Oh.
So if you twirl down mask and look where it says mask path and then shape, click that. I've never had to do this before. This is crazy. Yeah. Change reset to and then say ellipse and hit OK.
Easy.
Now we're good. So basically what a mask is, it's just a path. So it's like a path with points that you can change. So Ben, if you double click like one of those points up there, now that we have the mask selected, cool. And now take it and sort of like just move it. Don't scale it. I would leave it. All right, I guess that's fine. But yeah, so now you see it's sort of like only revealing the part that your mask is over of the circle. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go down to mask and the little layer thing, and you change add to subtract. Boom.
Oh, there we go.
Now we get our little thing. So here's what we can do. Let's try to keep the mask a perfect circle, so that way we can, do our thing. If you just tap enter, it'll sort of get you out of there.
Gotcha.
There you go. So now what we want to do is animate this mask path. We want it to sort of end up as the crescent shape, and at the beginning, not hide anything at all. So we're kind of working backwards here, which happens a lot in After Effects.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking maybe we turn back on that moon layer for reference, and we try to get this to sort of match up what you have.
Okay. So there's the moon layer, and I need to go back in here to mask.
Yeah. What I might do is actually go to the moon layer and lower the opacity a little so you can kind of see through it. So you do that, and then you tap. Yeah, you can go under there and find it. Opacity. Yep. There you go.
Uh-huh.
And then, yeah, so let's go back to our mask and then just try to get that shape to be a little more close to what you have. Just kind of cutting it out. Yeah. Cool.
It can't be close. It has to be exact. There we go. Okay.
Cool. All right. So let's turn the moon off again because I don't think we need that. I'll just get in our way.
Okay.
Great. So now we're sort of animating in reverse. This is where we want it to end up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most importantly, before we make any changes to this thing, we have to set a keyframe for it. And that is like a really common mistake in After Effects. Like set something up just how you want, and then you move the timeline and you'll change it. And what you're not
but
doing
it changes
every.
Oh god. Yeah. Okay.
I've lost hours of work doing that. It's so annoying. Okay, so the property we're doing is mask path, because a mask doesn't have any other property other than like it's just a path. It doesn't know like what shape it is or anything else. It's just a path.
Okay.
So yeah, let's set a key there. And so yeah, we're right in the right spot because that's where it stops in the second position. And now if we go back to the beginning, we move the timeline. Yeah, move the slider there. We'll see that the mask scales with it and it also moves with it too, because it's sort of just like attached to that layer.
Mm-hmm.
Now what we want to do is sort of just like move it out of the way. And that'll create a new keyframe. But we want to be kind of careful with how we do that because, like I said, we're animating in reverse. So the way it leaves frame will also be the way it kind of comes into frame too, if you understand what I mean.
Oh, I see. So we need to be smart about where we put it, because then that will impact how it animates in.
Yep, that'll be the path that it follows to get to where it is.
I see. Okay.
So if we sort of like, if you adjust the canvas so we can see the top a little more, you can just hold spacebar and kind of drag around. There you go. So now let's double click our mask so we can move it. And then, yeah, we kind of want to, I would say put it on like a diagonal so it looks like it's kind of like sliding in, you know? Yeah, like up there. And I would put it, yeah, just out of frame there. Yep.
Okay.
And then hit enter. And so we'll see it's already created a new key for us. And now we can sort of preview what that looks like as it slides in, right?
Oh, I see. All right.
Okay, so yeah, let's watch this a few times. I already think I have a change we can make, but Ben, watch it a few times and then what do you think?
Well, I could get really bougie with my requests, as
sure, go for it.
As Manny says,
bouge away.
But like, I kind of want the dot to settle into position, and then the things happen. And the way that I was thinking of it is like when we take a look at the site, the color transition can happen as the dot is moving down, and then everything else can happen right after that. So it could take up to like 600 milliseconds or 700 milliseconds or 800, you know? Sure. 800 is probably too long. But like the animating of the toggle going down and then all the fancy stuff happening like immediately after it hits that bottom, then I think we'll be good.
Yeah. I'm with you. Let's do this one thing just to get a better look at it.
Okay.
Let's see if you can remember how to do this. Let's ease the mask animation. Just give it the old easy ease treatment.
So I'm selecting both keyframes. I'm going to keyframe assistant and then easy ease.
There you go. Okay, a little smoother, but yeah. Okay. So perhaps what we can do now is get the timing of that sort of like crescent thing, because again, I think that's going to be like a big component just because it's attached to the dot. So that's probably what I would do next. So
Okay.
let's try your approach and sort of offset when that mask comes in. Yeah, so just drag away and sort of like, it's a lot of trial and error, right? So I think it'll probably not need to take as long to slide in, like maybe just a few frames. Because right now it's like the same exact length as the circle moving.
So
Yeah.
okay.
That feels a lot better.
Does feel better.
Yeah. It's not as like staccato and sort of, you like a little bit of offset is nice, but it feels like it's sort of flowing with that initial animation.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to sort of maybe leave it for now while we figure out the other things too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
All right. Okay, so I think maybe the next thing we should figure out is the sun rays, right? Because we're gonna have to get rid of those really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a cool feature that I think will let that happen, or
Okay.
I guess like make that interesting. Okay, so let's go to the sun rays layer and twirl that down. And what we're doing is, you can see under there's all those paths, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is this is a good example of, like I said, there's a shape layer, but you can have many different shapes on it.
Oh, right.
And they sort of all have independent properties, right? So we could animate those individually. That I think would be a nightmare.
Wow. Yeah.
And also we're working with such a short amount of time. I don't think there's time to do that.
Right.
But After Effects has this really cool feature called trim paths, which basically just lets you animate any kind of path, like stroke drawing on or drawing off. So under that layer, if you see the little button that says add with like a little arrow next to it on the right.
Oh, it's tiny. Yep.
Yep, it is. Look for the thing that says trim paths.
Okay.
There
Trim
we go.
paths. Got it.
Yep. Cool. And so what this does is it literally sort of just like expands and shrinks the path, or not expands it, but like truncates it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever stroke is happening will adjust. So if you drag the end slider from 100% down to 0, just kind of drag that back and forth under the trim path thing.
Oh, end. I see.
Yep. Just don't even set a key. Just like drag it back and forth, the value. You can sort of.
Oh, look at that. That's cool.
Yeah. So
How does it
thinking
know what
use
direction
that.
you go?
I think it's like the direction that the path was created in. So which point came first?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of math in there. But if you want it to go the other way, then you just have start be 100% and end be 0 and just animate it that way, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking we use to animate this.
Yeah.
The question is like, what do we want it to do and when? So I think those gotta go before the dot starts moving.
Okay.
Or at least let's try that. The other thing is, well, here, let's do this first. Let's animate them going away, and then we'll see how we feel about that.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit a keyframe here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then give it how many frames? 3?
I don't know. Let's try what you think is best, and let's see what happens.
Oh boy,
Oh,
I did it.
Just did it.
I did it. Keyframe there.
Yep.
Another one there. Oh, I don't have to add the keyframe, right? I can just make the change and it adds it for me, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. So let's watch that. All right, and then kind of want to delay the position of this. Okay. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't love it. I'll be honest.
Vicious.
No, this is exactly what animation is. It's like, well, what if it did this? And then you do it. You're like, well, that sucks. I have another idea if you're interested.
Yeah.
Let's undo and sort of bring back like what you had.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to avoid is changing the sort of like foundation of our animation, which is the dot. So like
I see.
Like I guess when it comes to animation, I'm like, I need to have some kind of anchor, and everything else should like build around that. And you can go back and change that, but it's easy to do that. And then oftentimes you just end up with a total mess and you're like, oh, where was I? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing we could do is right now you'll see like, we got to get rid of those things before the dot moves. Otherwise it overlaps with them and that looks really gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
What we could do, but there's not a lot of time. We don't want to change that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we could either offset the whole dot animation and have the dots start early, which could be fine. Or we could have the sun rays move with the dot as they disappear too, which could be something interesting.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know if this will look any good. Let's try it though.
So we're going to switch it. We're going to start it. No. Walk me through this.
Sure. So right now, if you scrub forward, the dot moves down. The sun rays don't. They stay right where they are. Mm-hmm. What I'm proposing is maybe the sun rays, as they go away, they stick with the dot. They move down with the dot.
Oh, okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So to do that, we can. It's really easy, fortunately for us. But to do that, we just parent those sun rays to the dot. So whatever the dot does in movement and scale and everything, the sun rays will do also. They'll sort of follow
I
it.
see. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Parenting. Super easy to do that. On the far right of that layer, you see where it says like parent something.
Uh-huh.
And it says
it's
none.
like a drop down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna hit sun. I'm gonna parent it to the sun.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Uh-huh. Now if we drag it,
oh snap, look at that.
I mean, it's happening really fast, but you can see that they move with it, right?
Yeah.
So
I like that. I like it a lot.
Kind of interesting.
It is fast though.
It's really fast.
So fast.
I'm like, I might give those another frame or two. Yeah, let's try that. And then you want to easy ease those also, just so we have some kind of something.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
I mean, I think it's a really short amount of time. We're like, this is not even 1 second long. Our eyes are probably like, can't perceive a lot of this, but that's sort of the time that we have.
Yeah.
I think that kind of works. What I might actually do is, you know, the little mask that forms the crescent moon.
Mm-hmm.
I might give that another frame or two. Like, don't worry about the beginning, but yeah, just like let it breathe a little more.
Okay.
Try that.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be done. Elise just came in and asked if my 5-year-old could ride her scooter on the deck, and it literally sounds like thunder when that happens.
Doom, doom, doom.
Ben is finally on to Lottie's. This is a great day. Nay, fellow. It's a learning experience for me. I hope you guys are doing well. For anybody who's joining new, what we're doing is we're animating a light mode and a dark mode switch in After Effects, and this is literally my first time working in After Effects. And Greg Gunn here is an animation extraordinaire expert, creative director, does this professionally. This is his day job, and he's walking me through it. So
I think you're doing great, by the way, Ben.
Thanks.
It gets easier, right? Like you start to figure out like, okay, this is where I can find this thing, and you know.
Yeah. Interesting. It helps that it shares a lot of DNA for me with Premiere. because I've done like the keyframing, and I've done like really simple dumb animations in Premiere. So like the visual language of the timeline makes sense to me.
Good. Yeah, that is like when you're coming from Premiere or even Photoshop, seeing those familiar things does help, because After Effects can be really intimidating when you first open it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's watch this in real time a few times, and what do we think here?
I don't know what to think.
Well, I like the general movement of the dot. I like how the sun rays go away. I think it's like you want it to feel really smooth, right? If something stands out and you don't want that thing to stand out, or it's like it looks like it's getting sort of too much time on screen, then that's what alerts me, and I'm like, should I change that? And so right now, I think we added some time to the mask coming in to make the crescent moon, and I think maybe we added too much. So maybe we take it back a frame. And you know, when you're dealing with like animations that are like less than half a second long, you are looking at like changing one frame, and it makes a big difference, right?
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Just change that.
Okay. So I think that's okay. I like the sun. I'm still on the fence about the timing of the crescent mask thing, but that's fine. Let's leave it for now. Let's move on.
Okay.
So I think that the next thing maybe we should figure out is this whole thing needs to change color. Right? So I think we start there. And I imagine we probably want everything to change color at the same time, right? Because otherwise it would be weird if you're seeing different color states of things. So maybe I think the biggest, like the point with the most contrast is the sun, that big black dot. So maybe we start with that.
Okay.
And to do that, well, you know what, Ben, let's see if you can figure out where to change the color, how we do that. Dig around. Do not delete any keyframes.
All right. Okay. I found inside the sun, I found fill 1 and then color. So yes. I'm going to guess this is that color.
You guessed right.
And
There's
then
like
we can
10
add
different ways to do this, by the way.
Okay. And then we probably, well, let's just say right there. And maybe we change the color. I forget what the hex code was. Do I need to look that up?
Here, I'll look it up for you real quick.
Okay. What if the sun is the mask for the moon? It comes straight down and makes the mask of the moon. After that, the moon just rotates to the left. That concept sounds really interesting. I just don't understand it. Like, it sounds like, oh, maybe you're onto something there, Ages, but it's like, I can't see it yet. Chelor, what is that thing you just dragged? I have no idea. No idea. But Nafe is agreeing with you, Greg. He says the moon needs to be moon a little quicker. Just to create the
maybe.
moon
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I just zoom chatted you the value.
Full?
I mean, it's E2, E4, E0. That might be easier.
Something I'm going to look into is using CSS variables for these colors so that when we go and change them down the road, we don't have to change the actual animation. Wow. That was easier than I thought it was going to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. Okay. So what we want to do is I think everything should change color at the same time. Like, to me, that makes sense. So what we're going to do is like try to sync all of them up, and we'll basically do the same thing on each layer. But I would make sure that, you know, the frames, the keyframes sync up on each layer, so it's all kind of happening at once.
Okay, so what do we do here?
Pretty much the same thing you just did, but on the other dark layers. So the sun rays you don't have to worry about; those are going to disappear.
So really, it's just the pill, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, stroke, color. I'll add a keyframe there.
Yep.
And then I'll go over here and then change the color. Okay.
Yep. I would just as a habit, and because we're not going to get into crazy animation, but just easy ease everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is it just driving you mad?
No, a little.
Don't lie.
You know, sometimes there's nothing wrong with easy ease. Sometimes it's fine, because you don't need to really overthink it. But it is the easy button of the animation world. Okay. All right. So we're getting there. It happens really fast, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. We also have to imagine this thing is going to be like 1/5 this size too. It's going to be super tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I kind of want to address the crescent thing.
Yeah, it's driving me a little crazy, to be honest.
Yeah. I think as much as I want to offset it, I think like at most it can be offset by a frame. So I think it needs to start earlier, and maybe we just overlap it like a little frame or so. Ben, why don't we try just taking that whole animation, not changing the length, but just dragging it back in time. So it is only offset by like a frame. Yeah, let's see how that feels. I don't know. I think that's fine. You could maybe shorten it by a frame, like have it start one frame later. But I kind of like it. You can feel that it doesn't end quite as exactly the same time, which is nice. But it doesn't also like this then this kind of thing. It's just it's a little smoother.
Yeah. So did you say move it, offset it another frame, or is it good?
No, I think we just move the start frame one frame later, maybe. So leave the end where it is, because I think where it ends feels good, but maybe it just starts a frame later.
Okay.
I'm all right with that.
I'm going with your judgment here.
Okay. Like, dude, I've done animations like this where it's like you'll spend an hour doing something and you'd be like, it's never gonna work. I don't like to leave it here. And then you go back and you're like, you know what might work? that person that you're like, no, that sucks. It'll never work.
Yeah.
And you know, things change like as context develops. So let's keep an eye on that thing. We can always change it later, but I think it's okay now. So here's one thing that I don't know if it might not make sense, but for consistency, maybe it's just like a thing. But I want the sun rays to also, even though they're going away, I want them to also kind of lighten and change color too, so that they don't like stand out as that one or two weird frame of like, why is that not changing color?
Right.
So it's more of like a whole change.
So we've got color, and then is that the keyframe? Where we put it?
No, I think it's a couple of frames later. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, and then
oh, wrong there.
Here it is.
There you go. Then easy ease.
Oh God.
Just do F9. Just select them, tap F9. That's like.
Let me see if I got my
Oh yeah.
Nope.
If you can.
I don't have that layer set up on this keyboard. All right, let's do here and these. Okay, all right. So let's play this. I actually like that better because the sun rays don't stand out as much as it's moving. It like blends into the background.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you want. You want them to sort of just seamlessly go away.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Let's take a break here. Quick bio break, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Greg's not, but what do you guys think? I mean, is this fun? Because I'm having fun. This is the first time I'm in After Effects. I'm kind of like figuring everything out. Honestly, what this feels like is like the first time that I've ever used Webflow. You know, where it's like I've always wanted to take my website and make it real, and now I have the ability to do that. And animation has always just like been this mystery to me. It's been magical, you know? And I was just like, man, I was intimidated to learn, and I definitely didn't want to start with a course, you know? I want to just kind of get right in and do things. And I'm feeling like becoming a wizard. That's what's happening right now. I'm learning After Effects, becoming a magician. Right? Nice. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys are liking it. Cheller, you did not cancel a few meetings to watch this. Oh my god. That's crazy. Well, good. I'm glad. You know, I think what we'll do is actually make this maybe a video on the Academy channel. Maybe we can chop it up a little bit. Chop it up. And, you know, make it, I don't know, like a tutorial or something. Who knows? Greg, are you back?
I am back.
All right, let's go for questions real quick before we dig back in. What do you guys... Okay, so it says, silly question for Greg. Is it possible to make the entire animation last longer so it's easier to polish the nitty-gritty details, or does that just screw up the frames?
I mean, totally possible to do that. The thinking behind its length is to sort of keep it somewhat in sync with what's happening on the website as things change from light to dark, which happens really, really quick, about like a third of a second. So if we want to keep it in sync, we're looking at like, 10, 11 frames to get there. But yeah, I mean, believe me, as an animator, I can make this thing go nuts. But, also as an animator, it's kind of important to understand, like, know when to show off, so to speak, and when to be like, oh, this just sort of needs to be a simple fade and we'll be okay. That is a constant struggle, like overdoing it, you know?
So you're saying the bevel and emboss feature in Photoshop should not be used in this case?
Maybe not this one. Yeah.
No fancy drop shadows.
But yeah, I do want to like dig into the curves and be like, Ben, okay, drag this 3 pixels this way. Like that's like when you really get into animation, it's all about getting into the curves and the graph editor and easy ease. It's fine.
Cool.
Everything's fine.
Hey, three ages, I don't know. It says a little bit late. Sorry, he's explaining its concept. It says the sun comes down and fades out. Then the mask for the moon comes in from the side. What if the sun comes straight down as before, but the mask of the moon is the circle of the sun? It doesn't come from the side. It slides in from above like the sun. Now you have a moon, but it looks up. The next animation would be to rotate the moon to the left so it looks normal.
Oh,
so it's almost like a
comes
bounce.
Down and then angles.
Mm-hmm.
Like
so it's like the dot comes down, the mask comes down, bounces up, and then the whole thing rotates over.
Yeah,
I think
that's totally an option. I think it depends on what MrBenBurns here wants.
Let's try that. Is it too complicated? Can we do it?
Not too complicated. I think what I would do is probably duplicate this comp so we don't have to like redo anything, you know, so that way we have options to work from, and then we can look at both and decide maybe which way to go forward.
Okay, so let's do that. Before we do that, Momi Rabble has something. When you work on a big project like the imposter vid that you made with Matthew, I'm guessing, did you guys storyboard it out? Was it easier to label your timeline with shots? Do you know what video he's talking about?
Imposter video. I
don't either. But as far as
caught up on all of our content though,
there's so much, dude.
It's
like
impossible to keep up with.
Between what we put out on the YouTubes and then Instagram and then also the pro group, like the pro group has probably 900 hours of videos or something like that. Yeah, it's tough to keep up. But as far as like the video process, it varies from person to person. So for me, I script everything, even if I'm gonna, go off the cuff and just address the camera. So I have a script, I have a baseline, but I don't storyboard as pretty much anything. Greg, do you storyboard?
Not for like YouTube style videos. I also write a script, so I'll make like a shot list. So I use words to storyboard for the YouTube stuff. If I'm doing an animation or like a live action commercial or video, then yeah, I'll storyboard that. Gotcha.
Yeah. So there it is. I know Matthew doesn't storyboard either. I think he does that verbal kind of shot list. I've seen his Notion docs where it's like he's got his script on one side of the screen and then the shots on the other. And then if it's B-roll, it kind of layers right on top of that, and then etc.
Yeah, I do the same kind of thing. It's just for YouTube stuff, it's a lot easier.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is, I'll share my screen here. It was this one. And Matthew did this all by himself.
Oh, I vaguely remember this one.
Yeah, this one was one of those Matthew and Cena specials where he did that intro animation and all sorts of stuff. It was great. So you have to ask him about the process because he's also an animator. Xenos King, thank you. Appreciate that. He says, holy hair, Batman. Greg, your hair's gotten long. All right. Okay, let's get back to it. We're going to go back into After Effects. And we're still, let's see, make sure you guys can see that. Yep. Okay, good. All right. So do we want to refine this one before we try something else? Or do we want to try something else before we move into like pulling the stars and the on and off stuff in?
I believe the latter. I think we're at a fork in the road, right? So do we want to go this direction, or do we want to sort of change and try a different one. And I think to do that, let's just duplicate this comp, and then we'll sort of make those adjustments. So we'll have both, and we can decide, unless we want to do 2 times the animation work, which I don't suggest.
No. I'm gonna save this because I haven't saved it yet.
Oh, good Lord, yes.
I once went a 2.5 hour stream without saving something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was terrible. All right.
Terrifying.
How do I do this?
See if you can figure it out. I have to respond to a text, so see if you can figure out how to make a duplicate of that composition.
Oh God. Composition. Hold on. Chat, you guys can help me out here. Greg can't see anything, so you could just like put it in the chat. It'd be. We're not.
Hear everything though.
Never mind, guys. Damn. All right.
I'll give you a hint. It's in the project directory.
Slam the keyboard until it works. Let's try that. No.
I want to say it's just. I don't even know. Is it Command D? Does that work? Yeah.
Whoa.
I think just Command D. There you go.
How? What?
Duplicate.
New comp from selection. Would that be it? I don't see a duplicate in the right click.
No, I don't. Yeah, I think it's under. Oh, it's under Edit. It's duplicate is sort of like a general in After Effects, just sort of like a general purpose thing. It's like copy and paste.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is our sort of alternate multiverse.
Yeah.
All right. And so in this one, if I recall correctly, the idea was the sun moves straight down and disappears, which lines up with the mask that is carving out the moon. It's a little tricky. This is a little tricky. Okay. So I think what we have to do is sort of get the crescent cut out of the moon and the sun lined up.
Okay. So we're going to be, oops, let me drag that. So we're going to be working with this mask shape and adjusting the positioning. So I need to double click this. Or not. Nope, never mind. I'm not going to do that. Get out of here.
There's a tricky element here. So right now our sun becomes our moon, but for this version, the sun is going to just go down and disappear and sort of just line up with where the moon is cut out. So we need the moon shape first. The moon shape has to be there and sort of appear. You know what I mean?
No.
Fair enough. Okay, so right now we have the sun. It's going to go down, right? So if we scrub forward slowly, it moves down. And instead of becoming the shape of the moon that's then cut out, what the suggestion, forgive me if I'm not following it, but the suggestion is that the sun moves down and becomes the cutout part of the moon, basically. That's the suggestion if I'm following it. And so the moon starts more vertical, right? So the sun needs to come down and cut out the moon. So the moon already has to be there or appear. And then the cutout happens, and then the sun also disappears. It's a little tricky. I can just walk you through what I would do real quick for the sake of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that, because I'm having trouble translating the words into visuals in my brain.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Okay, so I think first of all, let's go to the very end of our animation where the moon settles.
Yep, there.
Yeah. Okay. And so let's take the sun layer, which is also our moon, and do Command D and duplicate it.
Okay.
And if you tap enter, you can rename that layer to moon. There you go. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to keep this here. We don't want it to move. So it's just going to kind of be here.
Mm-hmm.
So if we twirl down the animated properties of that. Oh, actually here, if you hit U, it'll only show you the properties that have animation.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Really nice. Yeah. Okay. So we don't need to change color. So let's leave the color. So yeah, you can click that to get rid of the color keyframes. And then we can get rid of position and scale also. We don't need those. We'll just need the cutout. Okay. And I think, yeah, so that's that. But we have to rotate it though. Actually, you know what? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So okay, let's leave that as is. That's fine. You know what? Under mask, change that from subtract to none for now. So we'll just sort of leave that as is.
Okay.
Okay. So if we go back to the beginning, now the thinking is the sun moves down and it becomes the cutout of the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to the sun layer. Yep. And twirl down its properties. So press U.
Oh, okay. Hold up.
Yep.
There we go.
Okay. We don't need the mask anymore. So we can get rid of the mask. You can just delete it. Yep. Okay. And we'll probably have to change position and size. So, you know what? Do you want to hide the sun rays for now? Just like turn the visibility off because
sure.
They'll just kind of distract. Yeah. Okay. So if we drag forward, what we want to happen is we want the sun to become the cutout of the moon. So it's going to start vertical. So it'll look like a C on its side, and then it'll rotate afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, what if it bounced? What if it didn't change color, and then it basically overlapped the moon, and then bounced back up? Oh, maybe not. I don't know. You do your thing.
Sure. I'm just trying to produce the suggestions. So
yeah.
I hope I'm following this. So I think what we need to do first is figure out this point, right? So if the sun goes down, it's going to be the cutout of the moon. So we need to like scale it and position it so it's going to cut out the moon if it were a mask. So if you imagine that. Mm-hmm. So you know what? Maybe we need some way to see it because it's changing color. So what if on the sun layer we get rid of the color for now, or just delete the second keyframe? Oh, okay, you can do that too. That's fine.
Done.
So now when it goes down, we should probably put it over the moon so we can see.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the sun and drag
you gotta drag it from the name.
Got it.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think when I made this, the mask of the moon is the exact shape of the sun.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
this could work out.
We could just remove the scale, and it'd probably do the.
Yeah, then so just change the position so it's cut out. It looks like it's a little bigger though.
Yeah, it is a little bigger.
Quite look right. That's fine. I just undo and get it back.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay. So here comes the tricky part. So the sun needs to be two things. It needs to be the sun, which disappears, and it also needs to be the cutout of the moon. So we'll need it as like, I guess, two kind of layers, if that makes sense. Actually, you know what? Let me make sure. Let me make sure Lottie supports doing this. Ben, I have some bad news.
Doesn't work, huh?
It doesn't work. Yeah. So I was gonna say what you can do. This is good to know for After Effects.
Yeah.
But I don't know of a way to do this that'll work with Lottie. At least within the next hour.
Yeah.
So here, if you stop it at the endpoint where we're at, and then on the moon layer, you see where it says track mat none. So it's not the parent. So to the right, and yeah, right there. So you have all these things. So what this does is basically say, like, look at the layer right above this layer and apply this effect. So you can say alpha matte, right? And that'll say, okay, only show the parts of my layer that overlap with the layer above me. Or you can say alpha inverse matte, which is hide the parts of my layer that overlap with the part above me. Right? So that was kind of the thinking, like to be able to have this cut out.
Yeah.
Which is like, this is one of the most used features in After Effects. Lottie does not support it though.
Bummer.
So I don't know where to go with this without getting like really hacky.
Let's hit pause on this and go back to our original, and let's see if we can finish that one out. And then, obviously if we need to refine it, we can. But it's a good suggestion. I kind of like that, but I do think that we're gonna run into issues here.
Yeah, it sucks that there is some limitations with Lottie. That's surprising because this is a pretty basic one, but all right, I get it.
Good. Let's go back to the OG.
Okay, where were we?
All right, so we were.
All right.
This point, yeah.
So I think, barring the timing of the cutout, like I'm feeling pretty good about it. The missing pieces are on, off, and like the little stars. So maybe we get the stars in there.
Okay.
So let's see. I guess for the stars, I wonder. I'm trying to think. Like, I'm trying to think of an animate. Like, how do we want these stars to animate on? They could fade in, sure. I'm trying to think if there's any other like fun things we can do. I have the project open over here too, and I'm sort of like looking around to see, like, is there any.
Delicious goat meal suggests scale, which is kind of what I thought. Like maybe it goes from 0 to like boop boop. Kind of bubbles
That's kind
up.
of what I'm thinking too. I'm wondering how to do that. Basically, if there's like a way to do that that's not super tedious. I don't know if there is, but let me look around really quick here. The trim paths do anything? No, not really. Okay, so Ben, here's the thing. If we want to do scale, which I think would be the coolest looking, we have two options. So when you're looking at each one of those circles, so if you twirl down so you can see it's just a path. So it doesn't know that it's a circle. It has no scale property. It's just like, you made this curvy path. Great. Right? So option A is we set keyframes on each one of these paths and scale them down individually and sort of eyeball where they scale up from, like centered,
Okay.
which is a lot of work and it's probably going to look a little janky.
Okay.
The better way to do it would be we use this as a guide and we create new shapes that have those inherent properties. So like if you go to add over there, the little arrow, and you click ellipse, it'll probably be really big. Oh yeah, so in the
there
right,
it is, right there.
There you go. Under ellipse. Cool. So this has scale properties.
Okay. So
right. So it's not just a path, like it's an actual thing. So you can change it. So what I would do is go through and sort of just like lay all these stars out again, but do it with ellipses. So that way we can change the scale and everything. You could also do this on another shape layer, which might be easier to see.
That'd be more better.
They're not all the same color, but
okay.
But hey man, you do you know?
I will do that. How do I do that?
Okay, let's go back to stars, delete. Oh yeah, okay, so you no longer have an ellipse. Okay, maybe just duplicate that layer, the stars. Name, Command D, there you go. And then see the little pink box next to it?
Yep.
Just change that to a different color to contrast the pink. So yeah, blue, great. And then twirl it down and look under contents, and then under paths, just shift select all those paths and delete them. Okay. And the other thing I would do under the stars, the original pink stars layer, hit the lock box. Yep, right next to it. So that way you don't accidentally grab one of those.
Okay.
So we can kind of use that as a guide. So up here under stars, you're going to go to add and then ellipse.
Okay.
Yep. And then, here's an important lesson too. You'll see like it's not being filled with anything. You have to move the ellipse above the fill. Then now you get your fill. Yeah. And so, yeah, now you can just sort of go in and place all these things, which is a little annoying, but like that's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, and then we'll be able to animate their size independently and as a group, which I think will be really cool.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna work on this, and then let's see.
Maybe the opacity is turned down on that layer. Is that why it's like you can't see it?
Yeah, maybe.
Hit T. That's like opacity. There you go. Yeah, cool. You can also use the size property under the ellipse if you want to like get it to an exact thing.
Okay. Oh, can I duplicate it like that? Oh no, I can't. Bummer.
You can. So yeah, don't drag that around because that kind of moves the layer property. It's weird. Here. So you duplicated the layer. If
Whoops.
you hit undo, and then go in there and select ellipse path.
Okay.
And then try to hit Command D. See if that works. There you go.
There we go.
So now you can drag that around. Yep.
Wait. It's moving both of them.
Well, that's weird. Oh, I wonder if it's actually moving the whole layer. Okay, so here, go under, duplicate it. Shape layers are really tricky, man. And then go under ellipse, either one of those. Oh yeah, and change position. Try that. There we go.
Okay.
There it is. Yeah, because you see how the bounding box actually covers both of them? Shape layers are amazing. You can do so many cool things with them. Their UI is the worst.
It's a lot like the shape layers in Premiere, where you're just going to have to guess, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's sort of basically what you need to do. That's why I use that plugin where it's like you do it all and then you just kind of copy and paste it to After Effects. But a lot of times it's like not smart enough to say, oh, this is a shape, not just a path.
Samuel says plugins hashtag.
Lifesavers. Yeah. I think that plugin, I spent $50 on it, is worth every cent. Are there any questions I can answer?
While I'm doing this
Ben is
tedium.
growing this grass. Oh, right.
What is this plugin called?
Oh, it's called, I believe it's called Overlord. So if you search Overlord plugin, maybe that'll come up. Yeah, and it's made by this company called Battle Axe, which is, let me get the website. But it's this amazingly smart dude named, the website won't load, so I can't tell you. Anyways, yeah, he makes really fantastic plugins for After Effects, but especially for moving shapes between Illustrator and After Effects. So you don't so you can basically keep everything as native shape layers in After Effects. The problem with importing Illustrator into After Effects is that you don't get all this cool stuff you get with shape layers. It just flattens it into basically like a PDF, and it just becomes this generic artwork layer. But with this plugin, you can take your artwork in Adobe Illustrator and move it to After Effects, line it up perfectly, and you also get all the cool inherent shape properties, scale and stuff like that. Huge time saver, especially when you have a whole big layout and you need to just move it over to After Effects seamlessly and have it still align. It's really, really good.
I think I'm done.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right, let's animate these suckers now. So, okay. All right, scale. That's why we were doing this whole thing.
Yes.
Okay.
iPower says, "Oh, Greg Gunn himself, the color master." Hey, you guys want to know a secret? Greg's coming out with a new course. It's coming soon.
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell anybody. But it's an illustration course. And I'm
I already told
really
my
excited.
List. I hope that's cool.
Yeah, that course is going to be amazing.
It's super fun. I'm going nuts in it. So, more on that later. Okay, so let's scale these, because I totally think scale is the right move, and all that tedious work you just did is worth it. All right, so I think, I guess we can change the keys later, but do we want to have it sort of sync up with when the dot lands in place and becomes the moon? So maybe we start at the end there.
Yeah, so here we got it animating on, and then right about here we have space for that one star to kind of pop in there.
You know what? Maybe it syncs up with the little crescent cutout when that finishes.
Okay, so it starts
secondary
here.
animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be the end. So what we'll want to do is set a keyframe for the size of all the stars where they are right now. And that'll be this is our end position.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Okay, exactly. Now we want to go back to, when do we want them to sort of appear? I think right there is maybe the first time. I'm looking at that dot that sort of overlaps the crescent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when that should first appear. So let's do this. Let's set their initial keyframe for this frame, and then we can move it back if we need to.
Okay.
And it's pretty straightforward. We just set all the sizes to 0. And Ben, you might be able to shift select or option select everything and do it all at once. Try that. See if that'll work.
Hey-o!
There we go. Yeah. Okay. Now, you know what I'm going to tell you to do with those frames, right?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Here we go. And easy ease.
There you go. Okay. All right. So, all right. It works. You know, I wonder, can you have them start a frame earlier? Because that very first frame is 0. And I think we have one more frame to work with before it's going to overlap the moon shape. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that feels pretty good. You know, it might also be a good idea, just like when you're working on a design or like an illustration, maybe we zoom out and look at this at its like closer to its actual size. Yeah, somewhere around there. Let's watch this. Okay.
You know what I want to do?
Hmm.
This, John.
You read my mind.
Just mix them up a little bit.
Can I make a
Please.
suggestion, Ben?
Do it.
I would say instead of mixing them up randomly, I would say maybe have them, you could have them be like a little more deliberate with, I love the idea of offsetting them. I think maybe we give them some like deliberate offset. So I think either like you have them scale in from top down or maybe like bottom up. But part of me thinks top down to sort of keep that vertical flow of motion going.
Okay.
That might be kind of interesting. I don't know what order you made these in, so it may be totally kind of random.
Let's see if we can reorganize these. How do you know which one you're touching here?
You'll sort of see the center point, I think, on it. If you click. No?
Nope.
Oh, you may have to double click on the or just turn it off and on, the visibility. There you go.
Okay.
But you won't be able to move the keyframes. You have to expand the stuff.
So I'm reorganizing them to be in order.
Top down.
Yeah. So that way we know.
Smart.
Okay, that one needs to move up a little bit.
Yeah, I think if we do that, we can have some start even earlier, and then we can keep these last ones starting later, and that'll be like a nice little like kind of like twinkle down.
Or as my 2-year-old says, clinkle.
Clinkle? I like that even more.
Clinkle, clinkle, little star.
Clinkle, clinkle, little star.
There we go. Okay.
All right. So I think we leave the last one where it is, and we sort of just move them back like a frame at a time, even like just as a group. Yeah. Oh, we may have to do a couple at a time because we're gonna run out of runway. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's really subtle, but I think it adds something, nice to it.
If we didn't need it to end at that one time, we could
move the whole thing. Yeah, maybe that's fine.
Yeah.
That kind of makes the crescent a little easier also, Like I'm not so much looking at that anymore.
Right, yeah. What if instead of animating the mask in to the crescent, what if it started in the middle and then grew out? Would that look better or no?
What do you mean?
Like instead of having this shape come in and then intersect with another shape, what if it was like already inside and it's scaled up from within? Would that look better?
Try it. Try it out.
Okay, so we're going to the sun. And the
Here's what I would do,
mask.
just again for the sake of like not redoing work.
Dupe it.
Yeah, I think just duplicate the layer though, since it's just one thing that we're changing.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just sort of make like an alt version of it. Yeah, and then hide that other one.
Delicious Goat Meal wants to see some bounce effects on the scale of the stars if possible.
And I do too. That would be really nice.
All right, so I need to go and
So we're gonna keep the timing the same theory. We're just animating the mask, right?
yeah.
So yeah, if you delete that frame right there, like just yeah, instead of doing that, I would just like delete that keyframe because it'll
Okay.
go back to where you have it. Right. And then go back to where you want it to start at the very start frame. Yep.
I think we had it
was-
starting around
I think it was
here.
back one frame at like maybe.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I don't remember. That's fine. Then if you just double click on the mask, the yellow part in there. Yep, there you go. I want to say if you like hold Option or Shift or something, you can scale it down from the center. Oh, wrong thingy. Where are you? Oh,
I
you have
think
the
I hit
wrong
the-
shape selected.
Yeah, I selected the sun instead of the mask.
Yeah.
There we
There
go.
you go. Yeah, shoot. Try there's a way to do it so it'll scale from the center. I don't know what it is.
I'm holding Option, but it doesn't want to do that.
Maybe it's shoot. Man, there's totally a way. I just don't know what it is right now.
Well, what if we just lined it up here?
Yeah, eyeball it, sure.
Command and Shift? No. Oh, it is Command and Shift.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Thank you. All right. Find the 0 point. There we go.
And then you're talking about having it centered to where it ends up, right? So it's just kind of scaling up from that center point.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think we blipped a little bit on this on the stream. You guys let me know when we're coming back. It's so weird, like Zoom. I'm not getting any interference or anything like that. It's very strange. Eyeballing my computer. Everything's good on that side. Save that project. That's
Dude,
funny.
Seriously, save that project. Yeah.
Someone feed the hamster.
You know what? I like that more, Ben.
I do too.
I like that more.
Yeah,
We have
because
to do
it's a lot
one-
less of like.
Yeah. We have to do one little thing just to make sure. If you go to the start frame of the cutout.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you're going to have to zoom in a couple times. All right. It's teeny tiny, but if you hit page up, or you just go back one frame. I want to move that little thing outside of the circle. So just in case so there's like nothing there, right? There you go. Yep. So then it'll just sort of jump to the center and then scale up. And then otherwise it's like not even in existence there.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Guys, are we back up? Let me know. It looks like we have 5 viewers, which sucks. We lost a bunch of people. Okay, good. I'm glad that you guys are still with me. I don't know what's going on because like we are not. Everybody's saying save. I'm not losing connection on Zoom. I don't think it's the internet, guys. I think it's there's something with the stream today. It's very strange. Very, very strange. What happened? It could be Twitch, yeah. All right, let's zoom out and see this. What we did was we just moved the mask outside of the shape until it's time to jump in and then expand. So let's see how that looks.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That's definitely mo better.
Mm-hmm. Can we try one more thing, Ben?
Mm-hmm.
I think the stars, maybe they resolve just a little too quick.
Okay.
I would try just taking take that whole side, so all the keyframes where they end.
Oh, what'd I do?
Oh, you just slid the layer over. Just undo. You're fine.
Okay.
There you go. So grab all those and move them down a frame or two. So it gives them a little more time. I think you could maybe push them back, the whole thing back now, a little. No, other way. Yeah.
Oh, you want it to happen at the same time.
No. I wanted to make the animation last longer, like the stars scale up, but then also move it back in time to compensate. So the whole thing isn't longer, just the stars are.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So something like that. Just to have a little more something. Okay.
I like it.
Cool.
Okay.
Should we try to get the on-off working now?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. I totally forgot about that.
Me too.
All right, let's see what we do with this. So it's gonna start there. Okay. And then if we scrub forward, what do we want to do here?
Well, options are just fading it out, which not a bad option. The other option is to move it outside of the pill and then have it come in from the outside on the top, maybe?
Yeah.
What do you think would work best?
What I was thinking, sort of like hide it. Maybe you want to try the fun way first? See if that works?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Does Lottie support this? Let's find out. How do we?
We could add, because it's just a pill shape. We could add a mask like we did with the sun to that shape.
I think that's how we have to do it, since those like track matte things don't work in Lottie, because normally that's what you do and it's really easy.
I can't remember how to do that.
You know what? Let me see I wonder if we can copy and paste that shape as a mask.
Okay.
I don't know if we can, but sometimes you can do crazy stuff like that, and I don't even know. Okay, we'll say that, and then on, say, new mask.
Nave says, personally, I think too many stars would make the one main star in the moon the only star, but make it a star shape. It's a good suggestion too. I think after the stream is done, I'm going to play with this because like I'm starting to get used to the language in here. So I have some other ideas that I want to try out, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Let's see. Ben, I don't know if there's a smart way to like get that shape as a mask.
But it can be an ellipse because we're just you know doing the top and the bottom.
Yeah, you know what? I think as long as you like put the pill outline over, like above the on, then you won't have to worry about lining it up perfectly, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just put a mask on the pill. That's not right.
So yeah, here, let's, so a new mask, ellipse.
And then here.
Oh yeah, it's under shape, under mask path.
Ah, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I've literally never done this before. This is like such a crazy way to make a mask. Yeah, so all you really need to do is make sure that it like covers that area within the black line. Yep, good enough.
Yeah.
And then, ooh, wait a minute, hold on. Well, you know what? Let's see if this will work. Maybe this will work. So normally, when you animate a layer moving, the mask moves with it. Remember?
Oh yeah.
But since the on is like a little shape,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe we can not worry about that. So let's figure this out. So under contents, let's dig in there on the on the on layer. I think you can close, you can close all that. So under contents. So what we want to do is look for something that'll let us like, let's see.
Could we animate the layer down and then animate the mask up at the same time?
You could. It's just kind of dirty. I don't know. It just doesn't like inefficient. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Inefficient. Because that way you have like multiple things you have to account for if you ever want to change it. Under the little add tab with the arrow, what do we get under there?
Group, rectangle, ellipse, polystar, fill, stroke, gradient fill.
Group. Let's see if group is supported. Hell yeah.
Okay.
So if we do group, okay, and then we drag all the paths and the fill under that group. Make sure the fill is at the very bottom. So that way, all the paths get filled. All
Okay.
right, now you'll see the group has a transform property.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Now we can animate. I think, if you just do that, the mask won't move, right? So if we animate the position down.
So let's see. We probably wanted to go faster than the sun, right?
I think maybe similar timing.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
that works.
We're good. Okay.
It looks weird to me.
Yeah, I think we have to put the pill shape, that layer, over the on layer, because that way the line will sort of like hide the seam. So maybe we just put that on top.
Having those two elements come down at the same time is what's throwing me right now. Like I almost wanted to go like the on drop first. I don't know. There's something weird about those two things happening at the same time.
I think, one thing to consider is like how far the dot, the sun and moon are traveling, and how far the on is, because the on is like not moving very far in a similar duration. So I don't know, maybe it might help to sort of keep that same distance between them the whole time, if that makes any sense. So for instance, if we go to the frame where the moon hits its landing position. So if you click on the sun layer and hit U,
right there,
we'll be, right there. Okay. So I've moved that there. And then also I would move the on like down more so that it's sort of covering maybe the same, roughly the same amount of ground. maybe that'll help.
Hmm.
Also, let's add ease to those frames. I don't know. This might just be like the idea not working, but I think this is sort of the best version of that. You know, it's a little smoother.
So fast.
Yeah, I think we also have to animate the color too, because right now it's standing up.
Matter of fact, somebody just suggested that. Who's? Yep,
Great
Samuel.
minds think
Yep,
alike.
Samuel suggested that. I had to find it in the chat. Okay, so color. Do we need to do every path here to change color? Okay.
It's just that one fill. That's at the bottom of the stack. Yeah, that's applying color to
I
everything.
see. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would sync up the timing of the color change with everything else. I think everything is changing color at the same time.
So we go add a color keyframe here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's done at that point.
That looks right. Yeah. Maybe back a frame even. I don't know. If you tap U on one of the other layers, you'll be able to see it really quickly.
Check out the sun. Yep.
Oh yeah, so back a frame. There you go. Yeah, and then easy ease, and that should smooth it out a little more at least.
All right, so we got some comments in the chat. It says, made by Peter, I would probably just leave it there and allow the circle to cover it as if it was a static piece that doesn't move with the button.
Could do that. Yeah. You know what bothers me about it, Ben? Is that it ends up touching the pill outline. Like everything else in your design has like nice spacing around it. Like nothing ever overlaps that wasn't designed to.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's what's like making it weird. And made by Peter, I initially thought that too. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. We just like cover it up. But I think we might run into a similar thing where it's like, I don't know. I don't love the fact that they're like overlapping unless you like designed it that way. I don't know. That's just like a weird, I have no argument for that other than like, I don't know, that looks kind of weird to me.
It feels weird that it's moving down with the toggle, to be honest. Like I think I do think that we need to maybe the fade out is the answer, where it's like it gets to this point and then it just goes away because our eye is looking at other things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think this might be a case where we're trying to do too much, and yeah, the fade out is really all it needs.
All right, I'm gonna remove the position train. Let's see right there.
Yeah, I think you get rid of color too. I don't think you need to animate the color, because I think on is gonna disappear in like 3 frames. I think it'll just be like gone.
Okay. So if we go group, we can set keyframe for opacity here, and then probably about right there we need it to go away, right?
I would even go earlier. I think like 3-4 frames max, and it needs to be gone. Look at you, Easy Ease Pro.
Oh yeah, that feels better to me, to be honest.
Yeah. I might even like try taking it back 1 more frame. I don't know.
Let's see. I like it. I like that better.
Just a little more room for it. You know?
It's less distracting. Somebody said in the chat that the word on is leading the way downward, so it takes your attention away from the transition of sun to moon. I absolutely
That's a really good
agree with
observation.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so what is that? That's like 3 frames?
2, 3? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I think we have off fade on at the same time, you know?
Okay. So we got our off is here. I'm just gonna move this down so that they're next to each other.
You can hit T, and that'll just give you opacity on a layer.
T?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You do this enough times, you learn like the hotkey for every dumb little property. Okay, so here's a quick tip. Let's say you want to just set a new keyframe there. It's already what you want.
Yeah.
There's probably a hotkey for it, but yeah, you can
That
tap
guy?
that. I've been using After Effects for like at least 15 years, and I still don't know the hotkey to set a keyframe. It's just like one of those weird things. I don't know why. Okay. Anyone, easy ease, my friend. Never forget to easy ease.
Easy ease. I kind of want to start a little bit later.
Yep, I'm with you.
Maybe even
I
a
think
little bit later.
even yeah, a little more.
Is that too late?
I think a smidge too late. Yeah. That feels better.
That feels good.
Okay, you want to see something really wild, and this will give us a better idea of how it will really work.
Yeah.
Let's see. I gotta open After Effects for this. So on the right, there's a bunch of panels, and there should be one called Preview.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So if you tap that, and then okay, next to where it says spacebar. Oh, never mind. We don't want that. There's a way. Shoot. I'm looking. There's a way to sort of like play it backwards and forwards, and that's what I want to happen. I forget where it is. I'm looking for it right now on my end. Man, did they get rid of that?
Click to change loop options. Play once, loop.
Yeah, it's under loop options, but there's a way to sort of like ping pong. So it'll literally play it forwards, and then it'll play it backwards too. Unless they got rid of that. What the heck?
Apparently Alt or Option plus P creates a keyframe for position.
Nice.
Yeah, so made by Peter. You must be an animator. It says hotkey for keyframe equals Alt and Option, and then whatever the hotkey for property. So in transparency's case, opacity, it'd be Alt T, right?
T.
Yeah.
See, I like that there's a hotkey. I hate that you have to like also know the property. Like it should just be like if you're on a property, set a new keyframe there.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy to me. Man, well, maybe ask that person if they know how to like play the animation forwards and backwards. Because
Made by Peter? What do you think?
it looks like they might have gotten rid of that. It used to be like a really obvious button where it's like loop once, play back and forward. But I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, it's in the preview. Okay, it's in the preview, so
Yeah, I really can't find it.
can't either. Which doesn't say anything that I can't find. Okay, it has an include section on the far right. Include. Yep. All right. Play video, play audio, show overlays, and then click to change loop options. So I click it, and it's basically loop or no loop.
Yeah, I think they got rid of it because that's where it used to be. That's where I remember it being.
Hit the button with the box and the arrow. Yeah, that's what I'm doing there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he says they did. They got rid of it.
That's so stupid. Wow, that sucks. That was always like a fun thing to do. I was gonna say because then we can actually watch it play in real time backwards to see what the like toggle back on would look like. But I think it looks good.
I think it looks good. This is good enough for R1, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some more adventures after the project's done with this thing because I have was thinking about like, how could we make this so like the moon kind of spun around a little bit at the end. But I think this right here is plenty enough for a 30 pixel wide toggle button.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So how do we export this as a Lottie?
Great question. So now we are entering territory that I've never waded into before.
Joy.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's like a Lottie plugin that you need to install.
Okay.
And I think it's pretty straightforward.
Gotcha.
So I think if you go to Lottie, is it lottiefiles.com?
Lottie After Effects plugin? Maybe?
Oh yeah, it's an extension.
Lottie files for After Effects.
Yeah. Yep, that's the website. So if you scroll down, there's a plugin. Yep, right there. And hopefully
For
that'll
Creative
work.
Cloud users right there.
Oh yeah,
I
you can do
think.
Adobe Exchange. Then it maybe just syncs with your account. That's probably better.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to sign in. So we'll go to Just Chatting. Wait. Zoom chat. There we go. You guys want to see my password? Like,
Then make sure you save that After Effects file, because I think we'll have to restart After Effects too.
oh, good point. What do you guys think? Is this good? Are you learning from this? Because I've like, my brain is just, I'm gonna be worthless the rest of the day because like I've had my fill.
I hope so. This is weird. This is like teaching the basics of After Effects course. I'm like, what am I doing? Doing like art school flashbacks.
Okay, close these apps. Just make sure it's saved and closing. You're probably going to lose the screen share. Okay. All right. This is going to be a mess, guys. Hold on one second. Isn't there a course on the future about animation? There is, absolutely. And it's pretty fantastic. Recycle bin Greg, exactly.
Oh,
Install. Okay. We'll bring Greg back here in a minute. Just a thought, you usually turn dark mode on and off, so wouldn't the on need to be with the moon and vice versa, flipping them? Maybe. I was kind of thinking of like turn the lights on or off. If we get troll comments on that level, there's something wrong. Like if someone's critiquing like the on and like, it's not you, Nave. I know you're not trolling or anything. It's a valid suggestion. But if somebody comes in and leaves a YouTube comment like, dude, you got this wrong, I feel like that's on them. All right. So we just installed it and we are opening After Effects again. You guys, if you have any questions for Greg, now would be a great time to ask. All right, and okay, we're still good. So I'm going to share my screen here. After Effects, share, and Greg should be back. Beautiful.
I'm back.
Where can we see Greg's work? Greg, what's your website?
It is ggunn.com. So ggunn.com.
Made by Peter's going to go make sure that you're authorized, that you have the street creds to be up here. Greg's website is great, and he also has an illustration of me on there. Greg, did you know that?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Okay.
What do you mean?
We're going to do this right now.
Hold on. I have an illustration of you?
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, buddy. If it's not me, I'm like deep within your subconscious. Are you ready for this? Look at this.
Blow my mind, Ben.
Where is it now? Okay. Maybe it's here? No, maybe about. I think you switched it up. There was a big old bearded gentleman, and I believe it was on your resources page. Right there. There it is.
Wait.
If that's not me, I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I can't see anything.
Oh, okay. So go to your resources page and then scroll down to blog posts, and it's the pink one.
Resources, blog posts.
We're still in chat mode. Sorry, guys. Here you go.
Oh
Bam!
my God.
I mean, dude, I must be very comfortable in your subconscious because obviously.
Wow. Clearly, yeah. I mean, I've never seen your bare feet, so I did not know you had cloven hooves. But it makes sense. You look good with no shirt on. Just gonna say it.
All right, let's finish this. So we're back in After Effects now. You guys should be able to see that. Greg, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Can.
Good.
Can.
All right, so we are exporting this into Lottie. Except the hairs. Samuel, get out.
Walked right into that one.
Yeah. All right, so how do we export this? Because I'm happy with it.
Let's figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, so if it's an extension, I think it's under window extensions, I believe is where all that stuff lives. Extensions, Lottie files. Okay, I've never done this before. I have no clue how this works. Did it open something somewhere? Oh, it's like thinking, huh?
Is it? Oh yeah, it's thinking. Uh-oh. Not seeing anything.
Nothing.
Oh, you need a Lottie account?
Oh. But there's a different plugin you can use.
Okay.
This is the one I'm familiar with. Here, I'll send it as a Zoom chat link for you. It's called Body Movin'.
Oh, actually, Peter put that in the chat, I believe.
Yeah. Maybe the Lottie's file one is unique to Lottie Files, the website or something. And they make you create an account and all that crap. But Body Movin' is sort of the I guess OG one. It's like they're the ones that figured this stuff out.
Yeah.
I think it's free. You just download it.
I want to pay them though.
Oh yeah, if it's on AE Scripts, you can donate, or you can
I'll go back so I'm not doing that on stream, but I definitely want to pay them. So I'm gonna download it for free for now, but I will. I'll go back and donate. Okay.
You'll probably have to restart After Effects again, but that's okay.
Ooh. I'm eyeballing the time, Greg, and I'm looking at it's almost 3 my time, and I have a meeting at 3, so I gotta hit the brakes on this.
Okay. And
I'm looking at a checkout form. So, guys, I think this is where we need to stop. But what I can do is figure this out and then jump on stream maybe tonight when I'm finishing this up, so I can get this purchased, installed, and then I'll jump back on stream and do it with you guys.
I think, Ben, it's as easy as literally exporting this and it exports it as like, I think like a JSON file.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
then you bring that into Webflow.
I
think that's it.
wonder if I thought I saw him produce this. Oh, right there. Okay, so Timothy Ricks also has a tutorial on Lottie effects. So I'm looking at that right now. I'm gonna give this a watch. I'm gonna
this
see.
one's really good. Yeah.
You seen this?
I think so. I think that's the one I've watched.
I'm gonna give this a watch, learn how to do it, and then I'll jump back on stream when we bring it into the site to just kind of close this loop for you guys. This was great, Greg. Seriously, like I was so intimidated about getting in here, and it makes sense to me. So I'm thrilled, to be honest.
I'm happy to hear that. I think you did really well. This is a sweet little animation, and I could see you sort of like moving a little quicker and like finding things on your own as we started to move through it. So, yeah, nice work.
Thanks, appreciate it. So I'm pretty stoked to get this on the site because that's one of the biggest like glaring things right now that I have that I want to, just want to make it happen, Captain.
You're gonna have to show me how to do that because I definitely want a dark mode on my website. That's super cool.
Oh, it's so easy. I'm just kidding. There's custom code. It's not easy. Yeah. The dark mode is actually super easy. Like actually getting it set up. Where it gets really tough is when you're in dark mode and then you click a link to go somewhere else. If you don't have the custom code in place, then it forgets your preference. Right. And so you have to have that. There's a little bit of jQuery that you need to add in there. But okay. If you guys want to follow Greg, he is a team member over at The Future. So he's got color videos on the Academy channel. But definitely check out his website at ggun.com, right? Ggun? Mm-hmm. And then where can they find you on socials? What's the best spot?
Instagram's probably the best. My handle is Gun Greg. I have shorter hair and a yellow background.
Different, but not really. Gun Greg. Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to go and do this meeting thing. But before we do that, let's find somebody to raid. So we'll go over here to just chatting, head over to Twitch. Is A streaming today? I didn't see him in the chat. Oh, he sure is. Is anybody else streaming? Because I know we typically go over to A. Anybody that you guys want to recommend? And no hot tub streams. Want to go see A? Okay, we can do that. No problem. I always have to join his channel before I hit the raid button because he's got ads turned on, and Twitch, for some ungodly reason, plays ads in front of every stream. So like you have to wait 5, 10, 30 seconds to even see the creator that you want to see, which I think is just ridiculous. So Oscar's asking if you're going to stream too, Greg.
Oh, Oscar, I really, really want to. The answer is yes, eventually. But my dinosaur computer cannot handle that right now. So I'm holding out for the new upgraded version of the iMac. Once I have a new machine, then yeah, dude, I'm all about streaming, making fun illustrations, doing weird animations, whatever I can. I think it'd be really fun, but sadly, I am limited by my tech at the moment.
Guys, I have a proposal. I think I have an idea. You see that case back there? The really nice. I can't get. Where is it? Back there. That's a Lian Li Dynamic XL 011, I think. And I'm gonna get another one of those for this computer, which is streaming and doing all the work, because I want them to match. It's purely aesthetics, nothing more. So I'm gonna have an extra box and fans and components and rad and all this stuff. Maybe Greg, do you want to build a streaming computer?
It's tempting. It is tempting.
Think about it. Let me know. Because I bet you, like, all you'd need is the CPU and the motherboard, and then you could probably just get away with a really cheap GPU. So we're not talking big money here. Maybe $600 or something like that.
Perhaps. I'm a big fan of like less. I have one monitor. That's it. I don't want any more.
Amateur.
I know.
Amateur. Dude, I saw... Okay, we really got to do this raid because I got to go. But I saw this incredible setup on Battle Stations on Reddit. It was a 48-inch television that's 4K, and the pixel density is the same as my 38-inch monitor. So 48-inch monitor, and then it had two... I have a screen. Hold on. I'm going to find it so I can hold up the phone real quick. It had two 27-inch monitors that were sitting vertically next to it, and it was the exact height of the 48-inch monitor. The setup is incredible.
It's like my worst nightmare.
Look at this. I'll hold it up to the camera so you guys can see. Focus. There it is. So that is a 48-inch TV.
Oh my god.
With two 27s right next to it. So good. Squad goals right there. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope this was fun for you. It was really fun for me. I'm always up for learning. I'm a constant learner. And Greg, thank you so much for joining. Let's
yeah, man. Thank you for having me. This was super fun. Anytime you want.
Nice. Well, cool. I'm gonna start this raid here. And guys, I will see you next Tuesday. I don't know what we're doing next Tuesday, but we'll think of something. It'll be fun. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Let's go raid.
Bye.
Couldn't make it. You started too late for me. I'm sorry. How was the stream? Hi Samuel. Hi Delicious. Hi Goldfield. How is everyone doing? Oh, the emotes are going and the other. That's interesting. That's interesting. Low T and After Effect. That's nice. Hi Moonraid. Thank you, Ben. I believe you are going into a meeting. For everyone who already know me, you know the drill. Click the link. It will be appreciated. For everyone who doesn't know me, get ready for some emotes explosion again. Right on my